From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Features Edition for Monday, September the 3rd, 2018. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte is on an official visit to Israel this week. His itinerary includes meetings with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's President Reuven Rivlin, as well as a visit to Israel's memorial to the Holocaust, Yad Vashem, and an inauguration of a monument to Filipinos who rescued Jews during the Holocaust. The Filipino president is not without controversy. He faced sharp criticism 2 years ago when, in regards to the war on drugs in his country, he compared himself to Hitler. In a speech made in 2016, Duterte said Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. Now there is 3 million drug addicts in the Philippines. He said, "I'd be happy to slaughter them. At least if Germany had Hitler, the Philippines would have me." Jewish leaders were outraged at the comments, and Duterte apologized to the Jewish community for them. The president is the first Filipino head of state to ever visit Israel. The Anti-Defamation League has a new tool on its website to pinpoint incidents of extremism and anti-Semitism in the United States. The ADL Heat Map is the first of its kind interactive and customizable map detailing such incidents across the country. Well, award-winning actress Vanessa Redgrave remains unapologetic for a speech she made at the Academy Awards 40 years ago that caused outrage in the Jewish community. You may remember that in 1978, accepting the Oscar for her work in the film Julia, Redgrave used the platform to direct remarks at the Jewish Defense League, who had protested, among other things, Redgrave's funding and narrating a documentary about the PLO. She called the JDL Zionist hoodlums.
And you have refused to be intimidated by the threats of a small bunch of Zionist hoodlums whose behavior is an insult to the stature of Jews all over the world and to their great and heroic record of struggle against fascism and oppression.
Later that night at the awards, just before presenting an award himself, playwright and screenwriter Paddy Chayefsky addressed Redgrave's remarks.
Before I get on to the writing awards, there's a little matter I'd like to tidy up. At least if I expect to live with myself tomorrow morning. I would like to say, personal opinion of course, that I'm sick and tired of people exploiting the occasion of the Academy Awards for the propagation of their own personal political propaganda. I would like to suggest to Ms. Redgrave that her winning an Academy Award is not a pivotal moment in history, does not require a proclamation, and a simple thank you would have sufficed.
Redgrave told The Hollywood Reporter in an interview last week that she felt she had to advocate for what she thought was right and expressed no regret. The French city of Rouen will celebrate its renovation and planned reopening to the public of Europe's oldest known Jewish building, the Sublime House, a 12th century yeshiva that was discovered accidentally in 1976 and has since undergone a massive restoration and renovation. A conference entitled Medieval Judaism Between Normandy and England is focused on the building and is part of the European Days of Jewish Culture series of events, which has taken place in September each year since 1999. The conference begins tomorrow. Ynet reports that an Israeli equestrian rider will not take part in a major competition next month because it is scheduled for the Jewish Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. Israeli rider Dan Kramer sent a letter earlier this month to the International Equestrian Federation saying that he would not compete due to the conflict with the High Holy Day. The rest of the Israeli team is set to participate in the event, which is being held in North Carolina this year, and helps determine the team's chance to take part at the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo for the first time. It remains to be seen whether Kramer's absence will affect their shot. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS from Monday, September the 3rd at 7 o'clock. It's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, we hear from filmmaker Ophir Raoul Grazer. At 8, we bring you the Manhattan Jewish Hall of Fame Awards. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with legendary violinist Yitzhak Perlman on the Chaim. At 10, veteran comic writer Alan Zweibel speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, the Israeli debate program Frenemies. And that's the JBS News Feature Edition. I will be back with our regular JBS News Update tomorrow, Tuesday.